So I'm sure while sim racing, we've all got angry at some point or another. No, I give up! But there is a limit to getting angry. And that limit comes at basically the cost of your opponents. You never take it out on your opponents, your anger. You can drive angry and you can maybe make certain moves and go for moves that you maybe wouldn't necessarily go for. But pure retaliation and just outright idiocy is something that we do not want in sim racing as a whole, no matter what platform it is. Now, what you're about to see is a clip that was brought to my attention on Discord. So if you're a member of my Discord or generally just the iRacing F1 community, you've probably seen this already and come across this particular individual. Because I'm just going to play the clip because it speaks more than 1,000 words. But this is the sort of action that we do not want to see in sim racing at all. Roll clip. Ooh, a little bit to unpackage there, isn't there? Let's have a look. Let's see why this guy saw red and why he did what he did. So we're into the breaking of here into Club Corner, a very tight kind of chicane, and is a corner where overtakes do happen. I've made plenty here and I've been subject to plenty of overtakes here as well. So we've just gone past the braking marker really of 100, which is just out of our camera view, and as we roll it forward we can see just into shot there comes the overtaking car. Now this car on the inside has quite clearly got a run. They're on the softer compound tyre, whereas our perpetrator is on the hard compound tyre, and he clearly wants to get this move because he's on the softer compound. I don't know about the additional context to this clip. I did ask for a replay to see if I could get a wider context. Was there any kind of beef previous in the race that caused this individual to act the way he did? Not that that is an excuse in any means whatsoever for what he did. We've all had a bit of argy-bargy and had heated races with individuals, but I can safely say that I've never acted out as this individual has, and also other people I've raced against where things have got heated, that they've never acted out in this manner either. So there's no excuse, regardless of what previously happened in the race, for what this guy did. Just want to make that clear. So he is clearly going for the move on the inside. I do think that this individual here does actually see him. I don't think what this guy does, or any of them actually, what they both do is wrong. I don't think anything of what they do is wrong, because as we play it forward, he quite clearly knows that he sent it on the inside because he has left a bit of room, or he's seen him last second. It's a shame we don't have the angle of the cockpit. I would probably assume that he stops turning in as much as he does, and he's coming a bit hot on the inside. There's no doubt about that. But I would also, if I was in our perpetrator's situation, expect that to happen. He's on the softer compound tyre, he's probably in a rush, I'm on the hard compound, and I've left the door open. I've seen people send it on the inside there all too often. Sometimes you can do the cutback because they outbrake themselves because they're going for it so hard. Now, what happens here, of course, they bump tyres, and, well, that's allowed the guy on the inside to make the apex. I think without that, he definitely was going a little bit deep into that corner. And fortunate that his car is okay, or both of their cars are, because I've seen wheel-to-wheel contact like that result in broken suspensions. So I would count my lucky stars personally if I was in this individual's position that my car is okay. And look, while I may have received incident points for it, hopefully not. Wheel-to-wheel contact is better now, I think, with the incident system, where it will pick it up as a net code or a 0x, or at worst case a 2x. I don't think it's really punishable with a 4x anymore. I could be wrong, and that might be why this individual saw red. But ultimately, I would be saying how rude from the guy on the inside. But you know what? There's not much else I can do about it now. I'm okay. Let's continue on. I'm on a different strategy to this guy in front. There's still plenty of laps left remaining in this 100% race. Now, as I said about the penalty system, I don't know what this individual received from this. So I can only assume, or I'm hoping, that one of the reasons that he saw red is that he received a penalty for this and felt very aggrieved. I say hoping. Ultimately, as I said earlier on, doesn't excuse for what he did. But that's kind of my only logical thinking behind it, is that he's received a penalty from this incident, and then maybe he's received a drive-through from that afterwards. There's discussion in the chat on the right-hand side that he received a drive-through penalty. He received 23 incident points. So let's say he got 4 incident points for the crash, which he most definitely would have done from what we're about to see. That would, 23 minus 4 is 19. So if he received 4 incident points or 2 incident points for this event right here at Club Corner, then that would have taken him into a drive-through penalty. So maybe that's why he was so aggrieved. Still a lot of incident points to get when you're only 3/4 of the way through a race. But yeah, let's forward it on. And as we speed up, you can see here, I'm just going to pull that back just a little bit. It's as he's approaching the 100, he's gone, nah, I ain't making that apex. He is locked and loaded and is fully target acquired. And I mean, there's nothing else to do but laugh, because it's as he gets to the 100 where you just see him go yoink and just straight into the individual in front, the victim, and just decides to turn his F1 car into a missile. Wow. Now, I've actually, funnily enough, had someone attempt this, doing exactly the same thing, and they missed, which was quite funny. But yeah, there's no excuse for this. There's just no excuse, regardless of what's come before, whether you've received a drive-through penalty because of that incident. It was a move that was totally acceptable, while maybe a bit rude. There's ways that if you had a slightly better awareness, that you could have avoided that incident entirely. But there's no excuse for what he just did, and it's something that unfortunately is becoming more and more popular in sim racing, probably because of the popularity increase that sim racing has received over the past few years. Only earlier on today, as I record this, I saw another YouTuber / streamer, Basic Ollie, have his own kind of deliberate takedown incident from a very bizarre account that I've seen on iRacing, an account that's gone from nearly 3,000 iRating to 300 iRating in around a month's time. So very bizarre. But this sort of stuff is exactly why the iRacing protest system is in place. Now, we know iRacing, let's be honest, are quite reluctant to ban people. I get that. It's a last resort for them. iRacing is a business. Banning people means that individual might not come back and play the sim and renew their iRacing membership per month because of that ban. But ultimately, they don't also want videos like this being made and individuals like this bringing their platform down, because that in turn will only just push people away from iRacing and to other sim racing platforms. And this is why we need to protest. This is why we need to clip this, get everyone in your lobby to clip it, send it in, and hopefully the proper action is taken. Because this individual, from what I've been told from my own community who have raced with this person before, and the F1 iRacing community as well, this isn't his first time. It's not his first time. So quite clearly he needs some anger management classes. As I said, we all get angry in sim racing. but there's a limit to what that anger and where that anger takes you. And this is the sort of stuff that we do not want, because that individual who's just been taken out has lost over an hour of their life. Lap 38 of a 52/56 lap race. I can't remember how long Silverstone is as a full Grand Prix distance, but it's definitely over an hour's worth of racing that that person has put into the sim. Something that we do take seriously, that we pay good money for to experience and get the thrill of racing and wheel-to-wheel racing. For someone to do that, for something that in the grand scheme of things was very innocuous, to make them see red in the first place. So yeah, guys, if you see this sort of stuff, if you're a victim of it, if you see it, protest it, submit it. We do not want these individuals on the platform, and yeah, we just want to have we just want to come home from work, guys, and enjoy a nice evening or afternoon's worth of racing if it's at the weekend, and not have to come across idiots like this, because this is what this individual particularly is. But I thought I'd highlight this to you guys, because it needs to be reiterated. And yes, hopefully this individual gets what's coming to him, the right action is taken, and that he realizes actions do have consequences even in the virtual world. Hopefully you guys understand why I've made this video. It's not to bring these idiots to the forefront and highlight what they're doing. It's just to highlight that we need to clean up sim racing, and we all want an enjoyable experience. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.